There's this pervasive feeling right now, isn't there? This sense that the business challenges landing on our desks, the strategic decisions we're grappling with, they aren't just new versions of old problems. They feel, well, fundamentally different, like we're navigating something truly unprecedented. Well, you're not imagining it. In this deep dive, we're going to unpack precisely why today's business landscape is so uniquely complex. And perhaps more importantly, we'll explore why a very specific type of leadership is not just uniquely suited to navigate this complexity, but maybe even thrive within it.
Absolutely. And our guide for this exploration is a really illuminating article by Helena DeMonk. It's aptly titled The Perfect Storm: Why Women Leaders Hold the Key to Navigating Today's Business Crisis. Now, for those maybe unfamiliar with her work, DeMonk is a prominent voice in women's empowerment. She's known as a transformation guide and authentic leadership coach, for high-achieving women. And her book, It's Your Turn: Break Free from Societal Boxes and Manifest Your True Greatness, really sets the stage for her perspective here.
Okay, great. So our mission today is to really get into DeMonk's concept of what she calls the perfect storm. We'll uncover the layers of this complexity, discover why she believes women leaders hold such a crucial key to navigating it, and most importantly, extract those surprising, useful nuggets of knowledge that you can apply to your own leadership journey. So ready to unravel this.
Let's do it. DeMonk's core idea, and this really underpins her whole argument, is that we're not just facing one or two big shifts, we're in a perfect storm.
Mm-hmm.
She defines it as this profound convergence of multiple monumental changes happening all at once. And this creates a level of leadership complexity that, traditional frameworks just weren't built for. They can't handle it. It's a multifaceted challenge, where each part kind of amplifies the others.
Right, interconnected. And the first element DeMonk points to in this storm is technological disruption at an unprecedented scale. We're talking AI specifically. Yeah. And this isn't just about automating tasks, is it? It's fundamentally reshaping what leadership even means. Organizations are scrambling to keep up with tech changing faster than their structures can adapt. And DeMonk's insight here, which I found fascinating, is that with AI speed, successful leaders aren't top-down commanders anymore. They're more like architects of agility. They foster distributed decisions, rapid iteration, basically empowering the edges, because central command just can't move fast enough. And DeMonk sees many women leaders naturally excelling here, where those old command and control styles just, they buckle.
Yeah, exactly. And building right on that, the second critical element she identifies is generational workforce complexity. I mean, think about it. For the first time ever, we literally have 4 distinct generations in the workforce together. And each one comes with fundamentally different expectations about work, about purpose, even about leadership itself. It's a huge dynamic. DeMonk points out that Gen Z, for example, brings these values-driven expectations that, interestingly, often mirror how many women leaders naturally approach things: authentic, purpose-centered leadership. Plus, you've got this backdrop of experienced leaders retiring, taking decades of institutional knowledge with them. That's another huge challenge.
Wow. Okay. So tech disruption, generational complexity is the third element. DeMonk highlights something really intriguing: this simultaneous economic uncertainty and these opportunity windows. It's not just one or the other. It's this dual demand. Organizations need to be really shrewd defensively, cautious with resources, but at the exact same time, they need to make bold, aggressive investment decisions to grab these fleeting market opportunities. It's like walking tightrope. Mm-hmm. And DeMonk argues this demands a really nuanced way of thinking, embracing complexity, not rushing for simple answers. And she connects this to the tendency towards more inclusive decision-making, multi-perspective analysis, qualities often associated with women leaders. That becomes a real advantage here.
It really does. And the fourth piece of this perfect storm, and this is one many leaders probably feel deeply, is the authenticity pressures in a performance culture. This is a major contradiction DeMonk unpacks. Organizations increasingly say they want authentic leadership. Bring your whole self to work, right? Yet the systems they operate often, maybe inadvertently, penalize vulnerability or truly collaborative styles, sometimes seen as weak or indecisive. DeMonk makes a really powerful observation here. She's seen brilliant women just exhaust themselves trying to lead authentically within these, frankly, inauthentic systems, always wondering why it feels so draining, so complex.
That really resonates. So, okay. Given this perfect storm technology, generations, economy, authenticity pressure, it's no wonder traditional leadership programs feel, out of date. But what specifically makes them miss the mark now, according to DeMonk? What's the core misalignment?
Well, her point is pretty compelling. These programs were essentially designed for a totally different era, an era of, relative stability, clear hierarchies, a pretty standard idea of executive presence. They teach frameworks, decision models. that basically assume a level of predictability that just doesn't exist anymore. It's linear thinking in a nonlinear world. What DeMonk's really saying is these models were built for a game that we're just not playing anymore. The rules have changed. And this leads straight to her key insight. She argues that the very qualities that historically made women's leadership approaches feel, I don't know, different, or maybe like they were square pegs in round holes within those old corporate structures. Those qualities are now precisely what organizations need to navigate this storm successfully. It's like they were, in a way, early adopters of the leadership style that's now in demand, even before everyone else realized it was needed. And she gives really concrete examples from what she's observed. Take collaborative decision-making. That used to be seen as, oh, that takes too long, right? Slows down the decisive leader. But now, in this complex storm, it's absolutely essential. You need it for managing diverse stakeholders, navigating those ripple effects, getting real buy-in. Or think about emotional intelligence, often dismissed as soft skills, secondary stuff. But today, it's critical, non-negotiable really, for leading through uncertainty, constant change, managing the human side of disruption. And finally, systems thinking. That ability to see interconnected variables, long-term impact, that's exactly what you need when every decision has complex, far-reaching consequences across tech, people, markets.
That's a really powerful way to reframe it. So for you listening, what does this actually mean? It means recognizing that those strengths you might have felt were maybe unconventional or didn't quite fit the old leadership mold. They might actually be your critical competitive advantages right now. You could have been ahead of the curve all along, maybe without even realizing it.
Exactly. Now here's where DeMonk pivots. She moves from diagnosing the storm to offering a powerful solution. She introduces this concept she calls the alliance advantage. Her argument is that this perfect storm doesn't just create crisis, it also creates this huge, unprecedented opportunity for strategic alliance among women leaders who are actually operating within this complexity.
Okay, and it's important to draw a line here, isn't it? This isn't just networking. DeMonk makes this really clear distinction. Networking creates contacts. You meet people, swap details, connect online, fine for transactional stuff. But alliance creates thinking partners. Think about the sheer power, the collective intelligence, when executives operating at similar strategic levels share their real-time challenges and insights. Like imagine someone grappling with a huge, messy AI integration, being able to instantly connect with someone else who's navigated something similar, maybe in a totally different sector. It's about pressure testing those big decisions, the ones that might take weeks to hash out internally, against the diverse, high-level experience of operational equals. Real-time strategic sparring, almost.
And the research backs us up strongly. Diverse leadership teams consistently outperform homogeneous ones, significantly. But DeMonk adds another layer. The benefits multiply exponentially when that diversity includes a shared understanding of operational complexity. Strategic alliances, she argues, empower women executives not just to survive this complexity, but to actually use it to redefine effective leadership in their organizations, even their industries.
DeMonk also touches on a challenge, a kind of burden that many women leaders face, right? The only woman in the room phenomena, often finding themselves as the sole woman in critical strategic conversations. That means carrying not just the weight of the decision itself, often massive multi-million-pound decisions, but also this added weight of representation. It can be incredibly isolating, navigating that level of complexity alone, trying to ensure certain perspectives are even heard.
Precisely. And that's exactly how Strategic Alliance flips the script on that dynamic, when you suddenly have access to other women who get it, who genuinely understand the weight of leading big teams through uncertainty, who've navigated complex financial decisions, who can offer perspective without any competitive weirdness. The quality of your own strategic thinking just transforms. It's not just about support, though, that's important, of course. It's about accessing collective intelligence that genuinely matches the scale and complexity you're dealing with day to day.
Which brings us neatly to what DeMonk calls the timing convergence. She's observing that organizations are finally waking up to the fact that their old leadership playbooks aren't cutting it anymore. Those approaches many women leaders naturally bring, collaborative, emotionally intelligent systems thinking, they're shifting, moving rapidly from being sort of nice to have to absolutely essential for survival. The market itself is demanding these qualities now.
And that naturally leads to the question, if these qualities are now essential, what's the window here? DeMonk really emphasizes the urgency. This window, the chance to position yourself at the forefront of this leadership evolution, it won't stay open forever. The women who build these strategic alliances now, who learn to leverage collective intelligence instead of just carrying all that complexity solo, they'll be the ones positioned to lead the organizations that successfully adapt. They'll be shaping what comes next, not just reacting to it.
And there's a key insight DeMonk shares from the really successful women executives she works with. They fundamentally stopped trying to figure it all out alone. Now, this isn't about becoming dependent, not at all. It's about recognizing something crucial, recognizing that the level of strategic thinking they bring to their multi-million-pound roles deserves equally high-caliber strategic counsel for themselves. They understood their own need for that peer-to-peer high-level input.
Yes, and it's exactly that recognition that led Helena DeMonk to actually create the 0.5% Alliance. This isn't just a general network. It's specifically designed for women executives managing teams of 20 or more and/or overseeing budgets exceeding 10 million pounds, real operational heavyweights. It's for women who truly understand that this perfect storm requires what she calls perfect alliance. So the program itself is 6 months of bi-weekly strategic counsel among these operational equals, plus one intensive retreat for really deep strategic work. It provides real-time input on active challenges, cross-industry perspectives, leveraging the idea that executives managing similar complexities often share more strategically than even peers in the same industry but at different operational levels. It's truly about getting that collective intelligence that matches where you operate.
Okay, so let's bring it all together. In this perfect storm, tech disruption, generational shifts, economic uncertainty, authenticity pressures, the very qualities that maybe once made women's leadership feel different. Those qualities are now absolutely essential for organizations to survive and thrive. And building these strategic alliances, it isn't just a nice idea. DeMonk positions it as the definitive key. The key to not just weathering this storm, but actually defining the future of leadership itself.
Which leaves us with a really important question for you, the listener. Thinking about your own leadership journey, what significant complexity are you perhaps trying to carry all by yourself right now? And where might seeking out strategic alliance real thinking partners actually amplify your impact, allowing you to shift from just navigating to truly shaping what's next?
DeMonk's closing thought really hits home. The women who build these alliances now won't just weather what's coming. They will define what leadership looks like on the other side. So if you're ready to stop carrying this level of complexity alone and start leveraging collective intelligence that truly matches the level you operate at, the August 2025 cohort for Helena DeMonk's 0.5% Alliance is now accepting applications. This really could be your moment to join an alliance designed to transform how you think, decide, and lead through everything that's coming next. You can find the details and apply at shore.bymm05 app. That's shore.bymm05 app. And just a heads up, after this August cohort, the next availability isn't until 2026. So the window for this particular opportunity really is now.